In our first story, research by engineers at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology is showing that maize contains cancer-causing metal substances. The findings are published in the Journal of Science and Technology, and it suggests that Ghanaians consume between 25 to 97.2 milligrams of iron particles daily from meals prepared from milled maize. This is far above the National Research Council recommended dietary iron intake for any human at all. And Love FM's Kwesi Deborah expansions of this report.
It's 2 p.m. Francis Abesiwie attends to his 12th client. Local alcoholic beverage Pito Briwa Akusia is here to have her soaked millet milled. Milling involves crushing the sorghum into powder by a pair of metal plates, one stationary and the other turning. The same machine is used to mill and blend tomatoes and other vegetables in the morning, then cereals afterwards. Ordinarily, it takes about 20 minutes to mill 25 kilograms or more of millet. Immediately Francis is done, Akosia's 2-kilogram dry maize follows. After all is done, it's time to clean up the grinding plates.
Everyone say, why you
When the workload is high, it wears away every 2 days. There's a need to sharpen them. With less workload, they can last for a week. Francis prefers to buy locally made plates to imported ones. The foreign plates wear out slowly, but they can't be recycled. They are also expensive. Corn milling, whether wet or dry, is a major activity in Ghana. According to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, over 95% of Ghanaians enjoy dishes prepared from milled maize. Wearing of the plates means metal particles finding their way into the milled stuff.
I know with the mention of iron, most of you will be thinking about the formation of red blood cells, carrying of oxygen in the bloodstream, the building of tissues, the building of muscles, the building of the brains. Sorry to say, the one found in your kinky is not the usual or doesn't act like ferrous sulfate BP. It's rather a dangerous one.
A study conducted at 105 maize milling shops in Ghana found for a total of 1,800 kilograms of milled maize, the amount of metallic iron particles found is about 175 kilograms and 90 kilograms for wet and dry milling respectively. The findings again indicates the amount of iron particles in milled maize increased with the quantity. Engineer Dr. Anthony Andrews of KNUST Department of Materials Engineering is a member of the research team.
What is serious about this is that the iron that is in the condo is in there as metallic iron. And so when you consume it, it's an unorthodox way of consuming iron. And so the metallic iron is more carcinogenic, which has a detrimental effect on the health of human beings.
The researchers are taking steps to improve the wear resistance of the locally produced mill plates.
Elements like chromium can be added to it. In that case, it becomes a cast steel rather than just a cast iron. And the chromium content in it will improve the corrosion property of it and therefore has a tendency to minimize the wear.
The Materials Engineering Department of KNUST plans to train small-scale foundry operators to improve manufacture of milling plates. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
The United Nations Children's Fund has appealed to government to scale up an innovative hand-washing mechanism dubbed Tippy Hand and extend it nationwide after the campaign became a success in the Volta region. The Tippy Tap campaign was rolled out back in 2017 on the pilot phase by UNICEF under a hand washing with water and soap program funded by Unilever Global. The campaign was to help pupils cultivate the habit of hand washing with soap, thereby contributing to a significant drop in diarrhea cases among children in 2017. A water sanitation and health specialist at UNICEF, Letitia Akon, made the appeal to government on the expansion at an event to success of the Tip Tap campaign. And here's a report by Fred Kwame-Asare.
The Tippy Tap is a hand-washing mechanism that is built using sticks, a rope, and a gallon. It comprises a suspended gallon filled with water and a lever used to release the water through a hole at the base of the gallon. Because Tippy Tap is really easy to build and fun to use, it has contributed to the tremendous increase in the habit of hand washing among pupils, since they find it amusing using the device. Teachers were also trained in soap making to ensure soaps are always available at all the taps. Tippy Tap has now become an important element of basic schools in the Volta region, where you find the tap constructed at vantage points on campuses. Some are situated at canteens, in front of urinals, toilets, and classrooms. According to UNICEF, more than 500,000 pupils in about 3,900 schools, comprising 95% of schools in the region, have benefited from the campaign. The Tippy Tap campaign has also helped improve sanitation in the schools and contributed to a decline in diarrhea cases recorded among children in 2017. Mary Tony is a teacher in the Adidome DA Basic School.
The construction of the Tippy Tap decreased the complaint of the kids about their stomach problem. No complaint these days. How we have been spending a lot of money buying these Veronica buckets. Now we are no more spending much money because we have Tippy Tap in our school.
Due to the significant success chalked by the campaign, UNICEF has appealed to government to extend the innovative hand-washing mechanism to cover the entire nation. Speaking at the forum to celebrate the success of the initiative in the Volta region, a water, sanitation and health specialist at UNICEF, Letitia Akon, indicated it is prudent government adopts this mechanism to curb the outbreak of water and sanitation-related diseases, since it is less expensive compared to other interventions.
There will also be the need to scale up to cover all basic schools countrywide, as well as in communities and households. We are glad to hear that already in the Volta region, it has started being transcended into the communities and households. So we'll plead with our honorable member of parliament here that as you go to your constituency, you also preach the goodwill of Tippy Tap and encourage our children to wash their hands with soap. I believe it is to your own benefit, because the less they get sick, the less they burden you with the hospital bills, because we know you are so much engaged with your community and you are always there to support them. This achievement is worth considering. And we know that apart from our MPs, our traditional leaders, our religious leaders in the churches can also promote Tippy Tap and hand washing at their various congregations and with their community members.
The Tippy Tap campaign has helped reduce diarrhea cases in the Central Town District from 6,089 in 2016 to 4,655 in 2017. Reporting for JoyNews, Fred Kwame-Asare at Idome.
Well, let's turn our attention to roads. And road engineers have begun assessing roads in the Asin South District of the Central Region that have been a source of worry to farmers in the area. And as a result of the poor road network, several farm produce are locked up in the hinterland, further impoverishing farmers in the area. Richard Kwajunyakon has more in this report.
Asan South is one of the most deprived constituencies in Ghana, according to statistics from the Institute of Local Government Service. Even though farming remains the key activity undertaken by the people here, the farmers still remain poor. Dusty, bumpy road during the dry season and an equally bumpy and unmotorable road during the rainy season affect the main occupation of the people. The development has made carting of farm produce from the farms to the market centers difficult. As a result, many farm produce are getting rotten in the bushes, according to the MP for the area, Reverend John Intim-Fojo. Several appeals to get their roads fixed have not been successful. The MP, John Intim-Fojo, says it remains a priority to him and would push for government to bitumenize the roads to make them more trouble.
On this road network, we have cocoa, we have foodstuff, we have oil palm, we have all kinds of foodstuff.
The police and the Ghana National Fire Service have begun investigations into a fire that razed a section of the Dummy Market Wednesday night. The fire, which started around 7:20 p.m., is said to have affected 15 container shops close to the newly built market, which was commissioned on Wednesday. And as Menu filed this report.
So we are here at the Dummy Market where we understand fire gutted the market, portions of the market. 15 containers we understand have been affected. As you can see, the fire attendants here, the fire service is here to douse the flame. We'll be speaking shortly to officials to find out exactly what happened, but fire attendants have been deployed. The police are already here working together with the fire service. But as you can see in your shot, some people, residents, are here to help the fire service, as it were, to douse the flames. Some of them are also counting their losses. Others are trying to salvage the situation. We'll try and speak to some of them.
This is for by no matter. I'm doing light in my. You be a call from Boko. It's inside the man for container nature say. To my she's in chancing and more and one day be a save a bray. I don't know so container she and a nipa be a save a bray.
The affected shops mainly contain provisions, cosmetics, hair products, as well as clothing. It took 5 fire tenders to bring the situation under control. Deputy Fire Officer Ebenezer Simpson heads the fire service in the Accra region.
We received the fire call at 19:42 hours this evening at our fire master control, and they quickly dispatched water tender, fire appliance from the nearest fire station, which happens to be Abelempe. It got here within 3 minutes from Abelempe, even though the traffic is in its peak around this time. But they managed to get here on time, and the situation is under control.
There are no casualties, no life?
To the best of my knowledge, there's no casualty.
No life has been?
No life. Luckily for no life has been. The only thing is that the crowd who happened to be here before we arrived, they were obstructing smooth firefighting operations. So we will appeal to the general public, whenever there's a fire outbreak and the fire service get there, they should kindly give us way to tackle the situation.
But some shop owners are blaming the fire service for the level of destruction.
Sorry, what I say? Oh my, to host in United, Yania to host in that more of a schedule bank of fun, more for my dear.
Why into your wife's shop?
I say, Nina,
Otonday.
Upon my dear, confront to my idea, go hobby, television, be up. Now, a person may catch a buy also say. Fire service of phone, all your money, lady. No, on for Nipa, on bet to me on for to coin and coach your fire training. Yeah.
Even before the police wraps up its investigations, there are suspicions of arson among the market women. Clement Awuni is the PRO of the market committee, and he's not ruling that out either.
Yeah, since I'm also part of it, I cannot give allegation at no. But I'm just seeing something about that. I have to suspect, because we had a program, a talk program, where even the MC, the whole entire assembly was here. This is a World Bank toilet facility issue. We were here in our numbers. After they left, and I think one party in the market couldn't come to join the program. So it seems there's rivalry between the leadership in the market, the committee and the Queen Mother office. We have rivalry in the market. But I know somebody calls it because
So essentially what she's saying is that there was an inferno. The market caught fire 3 years ago. They were assured that once the market structures are built, they will be given a place to move into, but that didn't happen, and she is suffering for the second time in 3 years, and she's very much worried. She thinks that the authorities have not been fair, and this time she's going to resist any attempt by authorities to move them from this place. Meanwhile, the police says the situation is under control and traders can resume for business once the affected area is cordoned off. Superintendent Idrisu Salifu Tanko is commander for the Mile 7 Police Command.
For now, the places that have been burnt, we are going to maintain security around the whole market, ensuring that those that have been burnt and those that have not been burnt will all be secured by tomorrow morning.
For JoyNews.
Meanwhile, the National Disaster Management Organization says it will collaborate with insurance companies to help lessen the plight of victims. Here is the Greater Accra Regional Director of NADMO, Archibald Kopida.
Going forward, I mean, we're going to look at our markets, and not just the markets, all the other areas that we need to take critical look at. This how we manage ourselves and how we manage our homes, our markets, how we expose naked fire, I mean, electrical gadgets that people purchase and things. These are things that we're going to continue our educational programs as NADMO to ensure that more and more education, people will be more aware, of some of these dangers and how we can all together prevent it so that we don't have these kind of losses, and ensure that we'll do more education. We also wish to partner some of the insurance companies and things like that, because it's becoming evidently clear that in some areas you have disaster and things, people do not have insurance cover and things like that. So these are things that going forward we are making all our efforts to ensure that we are more visible. We are ensuring that we are doing more education so that people are aware. And I'm sure you guys can bear us out that we are not sitting on our butt. We are ensuring that we do our best in the fight to curb some of these things. And we will need public cooperation. We will need people to be a little more aware, a little more take preventive and safety issues a little more serious, so that we can all partner in ensuring that we stop some of these things.
Now that you mentioned the insurance, are we looking at compensation for these 15 containers that have been affected?
Well, by tomorrow we'll look at it. The report will be compiled and assessed. Then we'll send it to our headquarters and we'll see what we can be able to support with. The Chief Metropolitan Assembly is also there. We'll put our heads together and see whatever we can be able to do. It will not be what you will expect.
Exactly what I was coming to. Is it because you do not have enough funds, you do not have so much in your kitty to do this?
Oh, but right now, we've talked about all of these things, and we have not shied away from the fact that we're doing our best and we're expecting that people still will come on board and partner us. Of course, this is not uncommon to Ghana. that, you know, private entities, individuals and social groups would come on board to partner government institutions and come and give support to government institutions.
And that's it for the latest news updates we have.